I really like Mario Party, and most of you probably know that a brand new Mario Party game just came out, and I did what any normal, completely normal human being would do and played this game for over 20 hours straight. I made sure to do pretty much everything this game has to offer. I didn't 100% it or anything, but I made sure to at the very least dip my toes into a little bit of everything. I played one game on all 7 maps, tried every single new mode, and even maxed out my Mario Party Battle Pass. Yes, that is real. In this video, I'm gonna go over everything in this game, what I like about it, what I dislike about it, and at the very end, I will rank it in my full Mario Party tier list. Before we get started though, I do want to mention that this was all part of my Inktober charity fundraiser for breast cancer research. If you'd like to support my campaign or our talented artists commissions campaign, then check out the details linked below. You could even get a shout out in my next video for any donation over $5 to my campaign. Anyways, Super Mario Party Jamboree is an absolutely massive package. While most people probably are just expecting the core Mario Party experience and some fun little side modes, this game is actually more side mode than Mario Party. That is to say that besides the main party mode, we have the Koopathlon, a 20-player battle royale race where you move forward by doing well in single-player minigames, Bowser's Kaboom Squad, an 8-player cooperative raid boss mode where you work together to take down a giant Bowser, Rhythm Kitchen, which is motion-based rhythm minigames, Toad's Item Factory, a weird motion-based physics puzzle game, Paratroopa Flight School, where you flap around like an idiot, the Party Planner Trek, which is a small solo campaign, and a bunch of different minigame modes. Whew. There is a lot more variety than you would expect from Mario Party. Sure, Mario Party is known for its 4-player competitive gameplay, but the addition of more cooperative and solo online modes here makes it feel like there is a lot more to do. I do think the issue with all of this variety comes from, well, the developers were clearly spread a bit thin here. While this game boasts an impressive 112 minigames on all of its advertising, there should really be an asterisk on that number, because only 78 of those minigames are accessible in the main party mode. But of those 78 minigames, 5 of them are boss fights from the campaign that they're very rare, and in all of my games, I only saw one of them on the minigame wheel a single time, and I didn't even play it. 5 of them are dual minigames, and 10 of them are special ally minigames that we will talk more about later, which means that the normal minigame at the end of any given turn can only pull from 53 total minigames. But it gets worse. This game also has single Joy-Con motion minigames, which are thankfully fully toggleable in this game, unlike Super Mario Party. So if you don't want to do single Joy-Con stuff, you can just turn it off. But the problem is that there's 15 of these motion minigames, and if we don't count the 3 that are either duels, ally minigames, or item minigames, toggling these off will make it so your party mode will only have 41 minigames to choose from at the end of every turn. This is bad. For reference, Mario Party 1 had 40 minigames, not including its single-player games, which means that you will be seeing repeat minigames constantly. While 2v2 mode was also absent in Mario Party Superstars, I can't help but wonder if part of the reason they didn't bring it back here is because without 1v3s in the rotation, there would only be 30 minigames without motion controls. The reason for having so few minigames in our main party mode is because all of these different forms of play in the side modes, 4-player cooperative rhythm games, single-player score attack, 8-player cooperative minigames don't fit into Mario Party's traditional competitive format, so they had to be developed completely separately. This also means that these modes kind of get the short end of the stick as well in terms of replayability. The Koopathlon only has 14 total minigames, and Bowser's Kaboom Squad only has 10. While I had fun trying out these modes, I really can't imagine them holding many people's attention when you could realistically see all there is to see in like 3 to 5 rounds. This to me is this game's core weakness and strength. All of these modes have fun new ideas, but none of them have the depth that you would probably be hoping for. And all of these modes presumably took away development resources from making the main party mode feel as complete as previous titles. I also think that your core weakness is that you're not subscribed to the channel yet. Sorry, no, that one sucked ass. That's my beat. Speaking of party mode, let's talk about it. This is the first ND Cube developed Mario Party with more than 5 normal boards. It has been 17 years since we've had more than 5 normal boards in one game. This is probably my favorite aspect of this new game. Sure, Superstars is a fun game and all, but it was fun because they just copy-pasted the old fun stuff. New, fun, original, classic-style boards with unique gimmicks is something we have not seen again in 17 years. We have 5 completely new ones here and 2 old ones returning from Mario Party 1 and 2, giving us 7 total. One thing that you will notice while setting up a game is that the game estimates a 20-turn game to take 2 hours. This is significantly slower than Superstars and feels more in line with the slower pacing of Super Mario Party. There's a few culprits here for why that is, but let me do a quick overview of all the boards and show some highlights from me playing them. The first board I played was Wiggler's Tree Party. The main gimmick of this board is the big Wiggler in the center of the map who can change the routes through the center. Other than that, this is a pretty standard beginner map with not that much going on. Control of the Wiggler is really important since the 2 sides of this map feel really far apart otherwise. It'd be cool if there was Vote Kick in actually, that would be so abused. Can you imagine Vote Kick in Mario Party? Like, someone chance times on the last turn and everyone just kicks them. Oh, hell yeah! Oh, what is this? What is he doing? Is Luigi throwing? Why did he punch it and do nothing? Sorry, bud. Can I steal his coins too? Oh, hell yeah. Oh, we're coming back for you, Koopa. We're taking everything he has. Okay, high key, I could steal a star here. I'm gonna mash A. If this is anything like Mario Party Superstars, if you mash A, it's a star every time. Oh no! Oh god! Oh god, wait, no, this is not what I wanted. I did not want this. Oh no! Don't give it to Koopa! Oh god! Oh, that was not good, dude. That was not good. Oh no. Oh no, I lost it all, Luigi. I lost it all. Oh, give it back, Birdo. Give it back to me. Come on. Come on, give me my stars back. Give them back. It was a loan. It was a small loan, Birdo. Give them back. Come on. Come on. I can't, I've lost 4 stars to chance time! What am I supposed to do? I lost 4! Alright, let's look at my graph. Let's see what the stars were looking like this game. Oh, wow. That's tough. That chance time space sure did change things, huh? Toadette's 2 stars became Birdo's 2 stars. Wow, that chance time space was a huge reversal of fortune. Toadette's 2 stars became Koopa Troopa's stars. Yeah, Toadette, keep praying, bud. Next, I decided to try out Mario's Rainbow Castle. This map is returning from Mario Party 1 and features a linear layout that leads up to this big tower that switches between Toad, who sells stars, and Bowser, who takes 20 coins every time someone visits them or lands on a green space. I do not like this map in the original Mario Party 1, mainly because the game does not have items. Without items, you are essentially just powerless to deal with the shifting tower. Sure, you can take shorter or longer paths to delay or speed up your rolls, but you don't have any tools to work with here. At the end of the day, you're still at the mercy of what you roll on your dice. But in this version, you can get right in front of Bowser and then warp box to someone further behind, or custom block onto a green space to screw someone over, or use a triple dice to snipe Toad right out from under people. Having more options makes this map a lot more fun. If you've played Mario Party 6, this map feels a lot more like Castaway Bay in gameplay because of the new item dynamics here.
I think I'm out of here. I think I'm out of here, buds. Later. Don't roll one, Toadette. Don't roll one. Don't roll a one. Toadette, do not roll one. Do not roll one, Toadette. Don't roll one.
At this point, I feared Mario Party was not on my side that day, but I pressed on and played on Rolling Raceway. This map is in cars. That's kind of the big draw here. Other than the cars, the map design is kind of uninteresting. There are precisely 2 places where you can make a turn, otherwise you're just driving in circles all game. This map has a very unique item called the quadruple dice, which I would like to say right now that using this item will make you drive past the star.
The first person to roll 4 with 4 dice is gonna go absolutely nuclear on if they post the Twitter clip. That's all I'm saying. Oh, the quad dice puts you past the star. The quad dice ignores the star. So not only was that the worst roll actually imaginable, terrible roll. I rolled a 9 with 4 dice, but I also skipped the star, landed on a green space that put me past Boo. That is actually worst case scenario.
I couldn't even roll double digits with 4 dice and I missed the star. Come on, man. Next, I went to Goomba Lagoon. The main gimmick here is that the tides raise and lower every few turns. I was excited for this one in theory because it reminded me a lot of Mario Party 6 with the dynamic board changes, but the execution here isn't my favorite. A lot of the time, the tide kind of locks you in a small circle for 2 turns, which just is not always very interesting. Getting locked in a circle with an item shop can be pretty good as you'll be able to farm movement items for when the tide lowers, but sometimes you just get stuck in those boring circles. Certain shops on this board will have the tide shell, which you can use to change the tide at the beginning of your turn, and that has some neat potential, but overall this map was definitely on the lower end of the spectrum for me.
I wonder if Wario would double my hidden block, like this one. Do I get another hidden block, Wario? Aw. I love Mario Party sometimes. Sometimes I just like say shit and it happens. Oh right, I can buy 2 stars with my ally. Cool, man. Crazy turn, what the fuck? I just spent 90 coins in 1 turn. On turn 6, I spent 90 coins. I'm gonna go yellow. I think Bud goes yellow. I think Bud goes yellow here. That's what I thought. I read Bud like a book. Oh, Birdo read Bud like a book. Now, Bud got bonked on yellow, so he's gonna go across the way to green. He thinks across the way to green is safe. Oh my god, this dude is like a fucking book. I'm reading this man. Wait, hold. Wait, my fucking Mario Party career might be over. My Mario Party career might be fucking over right here. I might lose everything right here. What the fuck? dude! What? Dude, that's Mario! I can't wait to see this graph, man. Wow, Toadette got 3 stars in 1 turn. That's pretty good, huh? Oh, what happened here? Monty Mole got 3 stars. I wonder how. Legendary minigamer, first time. I got the achievement for winning every single minigame in this entire game. Yeah, so I was tied for Misfortune Star. We had Bowser. We were tied for green. I can't believe Mario used more items than me. There's my movement. I definitely had Shopping Star. Minigames. 511 coins and 8 stars in 1 game, and it was that close, dude. Oh man, oh brother. King Bowser's Keep might be my favorite map in this game, surprisingly. This map has a weird layout, and essentially you start here and then you go through Bowser's Fun Loop, which gets more Bowser spaces added to it throughout the game, and once you exit the loop, you're kind of funneled back towards pipes that take you back to the beginning. Bowser's Fun Loop can actually change directions based on green spaces or a special item unique to this map. In the back, there's a vault where Bowser keeps all the stars and coins he steals from players who land on Bowser spaces. If you can guess the 2-digit code to that vault, you get everything. While no one was able to crack the vault in my run through the board, I think the mechanic is really neat. It kind of feels like the Monopoly house rule, where whoever lands on free parking gets all the money in the middle. And this, interestingly enough, has never really been done to this extent in any Mario Party game to my knowledge. Oh, I crank my shit. I crank my shit. Hold on. Please hold while I crank my shit.
2, 1, go!
Oh my god, Boo is cranking it like a motherfucker, dude. That dude's a cranking wizard. Look at him crank.
Finish!
He cranked it so hard. Western Land is a fan favorite, and it looks great here. I really like the lighting they did for this map in particular. If you haven't played Mario Party 2, the big gimmick here is the train. Landing on a green space will move the train ahead 1 station, and passing by the train on the board will allow you to ride it up to 2 stations backwards or forwards. Anyone in the path of the train when it's moving will be sent back to start. Other than that, they have the Hootenanny. In Mario Party 2, this is a really funny event because it's a board event that, for the cost of 10 coins, will send everyone to the bar for a Hootenanny. But it would also just send everyone to the space right before the Hootenanny, which meant that the other 3 players could just reactivate the Hootenanny and bring everyone back again, essentially stalling out the game until the stallers ran out of coins. This has been addressed as the Hootenanny now requires you to land on a green space to activate it instead of just walking past it. It's a sad Hootenanny-less reality, but a rather understandable change. Finally, Rainbow Galleria, which is like, come on, they should have just made this Coconut Mall. Now we have 2 Mario Universe malls. What the f- This map has a lot of shopping related gimmicks. There are normal shops, but also a lot of special shops that you can only access by landing on green spaces, which tend to have more powerful items. Furthermore, there's this raffle green space that lets you draw a ball from this box 1 time for every time you've bought an item on this map. There's also the flash sale, which occurs every few turns, and will halve the price of every item and star for 1 turn. Boo does not care about the flash sale though. He still charges 50 for a star steal. I don't know if that was intentional or if they just forgot, but finally there's 4 stamp stations around the map, which you can collect on a stamp card and turn in for coins. The more stamps you have, the more coins you get. 5 or 6 would go crazy. Nice. I've been chopping up a storm. I should get multiple pulls here. I got 4 pulls. Give me a gold pipe. Give me a gold pipe, bud. Okay. Okay, that's fine. Give me a gold pipe. Come on, bud. Hell yeah! One more gold pipe. One more gold pipe. Give me another one. There's gotta be more gold balls in there. Come on, Toadette. One more, one more, one more. For the fans. Oh, Okay, it's all or nothing for Toadette, apparently. Okay, and some coins, and some pocket change. 30? Alright, 32 coins and a gold pipe is not a bad. How does it determine how many pulls you get? The pulls are based on how many times you've shopped. So me like farming the 1 coin shop at the bottom like lets me pull 4 times at the raffle, which is kind of crazy.
Overall, the map selection here is really good. I'd say Rolling Raceway and Goomba Lagoon are definitely the weakest ones here, but everything else has a lot going on, and genuinely have some really fun intricacies to them. The biggest issues I'd noticed after playing 7 games of the Mario Party mode back to back was the minigame variety, and the overall speed of the game. I felt that already by game 2 or 3 that I was getting a lot of repeat minigames, which is disappointing, but also wouldn't be the end of the world if I thought they were all pretty good. Some of these are really bad. There's a lot of guessing minigames. Gatekeepers is supposed to be like this deduction minigame where everyone tries 1 of 5 keys on 3 gates, and you have to keep track of what's been tried to educate your next guess. But often people will just get lucky before certain players even have a chance to do anything. Matchmakers is a 2v2 minigame where you're essentially just trying to find matches and face down cards with your teammate, which again, people can just kind of accidentally win this one. Lost and Pound is a 1v3 where one player picks a color and the other 3 have to guess which color they picked. Hot Cross Blocks has you building these bridges, but you can't pick the same piece as someone else, or else no one gets it. Sure, this is 4 minigames, but proportionally, they take up a lot of the roulette real estate here. There's some fun potential for mind games in these kinds of games, but if you're playing online against randoms without voice chat, or against CPUs, they just become really boring and annoying. Other than the guessing one, there's also a few quiz-like ones that aren't very interesting either, and a very substantial amount of mashing and jorking it minigames. Domination returns from Mario Party 4, Night Lights has you crank your shit, Tiny Triathlon has you crank your shit in 3 different ways, Pickaxe Dash makes you crank your shit, and the Robo Arm Wrestle has you crank your shit with a friend. It might not sound like a lot, but I found myself more often than not groaning at the minigame choices because a lot of them are just not very interesting. I will say there are some great minigames here. I really liked Sandwiched, which kind of feels like Book Squirm from Mario Party 4 with a vertical platforming element to it. Twist and Sort is this motion minigame where you sort bloopers and Cheep Cheeps into the correct buckets, which honestly has a surprising amount of finesse to it. Light Wave Battles has this really interesting dynamic between offense and defense. Pickin' Produce kind of made me feel like I was in that sushi episode of Drake and Josh, and 2 Axes Taxis requires a lot of good cooperation for optimal movement, which means that you will probably be screaming your head off at your teammate. There is some good stuff here, but for the first time in a long time with Mario Party, it really feels like the bad kind of outweighs the good here, because we just don't have a lot in general. In terms of pacing, you can definitely tell this is more of a sequel to Super Mario Party than it is to Mario Party Superstars. The board animations feel a bit more sluggish, and there's a few more hangups on the board than Superstars, although the biggest culprit is absolutely the new ally system. Every 3 to 5 turns, a new ally will drop randomly on the board, and if anyone passes by them, it will initiate a showdown minigame. These minigames are themed around the ally you're fighting for, and while these games do have some neat references to the Mario series and the character's history, they are very long. Most of these minigames will take a minimum of 3 minutes to complete, and a lot of them just feel way too drawn out. Yoshi's Mountain Race and Rosalina's Radical Race in particular are just so boring. You're racing, but there isn't really a lot of ways to catch up unless the person in front of you just messes up really badly. So most of the time, it just feels like these 3-minute minigames are decided in the first 30 seconds. But once you finish the showdown minigame, the ally is assigned to the winner, which depending on your board positioning and turn order, could have just been pointless anyways. Imagine this, you spent 3 minutes trying your hardest to win Mario's 3-peat. In this minigame, you have to play Leaf Leap for 60 seconds, then Bumper Balls for 60 seconds, and then end with Shy Guy Says. Whoever won the most points wins Mario as an ally. So you're trying your best in this 3+ minute showdown and manage to pull out the win. but then you get back to the board and it is not your turn, and someone else uses a double dice to just take Mario from you before you even have the chance to use him. The allies in this game are like that one meme of the boyfriend looking behind him. They will leave your ass so quick, and as a balancing mechanic, I think this is fine, but from the perspective of the guy who just poured his heart out in the longest minigame known to man, it feels a little bit shitty. Like, either make the allies harder to steal, or make these minigames less of a time sink, because there's a noticeable difference in effort by obtaining an ally by winning the minigame and obtaining an ally by stealing it on the board. I don't think if you win an ally, you should reap all the benefits with no counterplay. Allies will double everything you do. Land on a blue space, you get 6 coins. Land on a lucky space, you get to spin twice. You can even buy 2 items from the shop, or buy 2 stars at the same time. But they also double bad things, like red spaces, unlucky spaces, or even Bowser spaces. The dynamic is fun and adds a new layer of strategy, having to protect your ally while making sure to take advantage of the shopping and star potential. But beyond even their minigames, allies still slow down the game a lot. While landing on a blue space doesn't take too long, having to do 2 actions for everything and watching the animations play twice for everything still takes a while. Like, take Boo for example. You talk to him, you pick an option, he goes and licks someone, Boo gives you the thing, you back away, the ally does a little jig, you talk to Boo, you pick an option, he goes and licks someone, Boo gives you the thing, and then your turn isn't even over. Maybe you go land on a lucky space, spin the wheel, get the thing, ally does a jig, spin the wheel, get the thing, bam! It would be nice if instead of taking you out of these things for the ally to do a little jig, you were just able to do 2 things at the same time, like immediately spinning the wheel again, or telling Boo to just steal 2 stars outright. It gets to the point where at some points, you just kind of dread seeing an ally drop because you know you're gonna have to play that long minigame and you know you're gonna have to watch all those long animations after. Some other smaller things I find disappointing, the arbitrary 30 turn limit returning again. Like, I don't care how slow a 50 turn game would be in this engine, just let me have the fucking options I used to have 17 years ago. Bonus stars are also, again, limited by turn count, so you can only have 2 unless you're playing a 30 turn game in which you will have 3. Again, please, give us options, I'm begging you. Speaking of options, there are these new pro rules, which I think are an interesting idea. Essentially, these try to eliminate most luck-based things in the game. You can choose one item to spawn in with, lucky spaces aren't a wheel but a choice, shops have limited stocks of items, players vote on minigames, and chance time is fucking dead. It's a cool alternative, but ultimately I don't really think it accomplishes what sweaty Mario Party players really want. Maybe it's just me, but what makes sweating in Mario Party fun is that possibility of it all crashing down in catastrophic ways. As a self-proclaimed sweat, my biggest issues with the main mode are still here. There's still too many lucky spaces regardless if they're less luck-based now, and the allies still slow down the game a lot. I do like these rules as an option, but I also just wish they were introduced in the form of toggles. It feels weird to lock certain features behind different modes when it really doesn't have to be that way. But I think that's enough about party mode. Let me go over the side modes a bit. Out of all the side modes, I think the best ones are probably Rhythm Kitchen and Bowser's Kaboom Squad. Despite being horrible at rhythm games, I think Rhythm Kitchen is such a charming and fun take on Rhythm Heaven-esque games. While I only played with bots, I can only imagine the pressure of trying to perfect all 3 minigames in a row with other people. Bowser's Kaboom Squad is a bit of a weird one for Mario Party, but I think it kind of works. There definitely needs to be more variety, but working together with 8 people is just really fun. I will say this mode doesn't really feel like you're actually fighting Bowser. Your goal is to collect bombs from crates and load the cannon. Bowser's more of an obstacle than he is a boss, and he's pretty easy to avoid. Not to mention that if he does get you, a teammate can just get your bubble and bring you back. 8-player co-op in general is just a fun and chaotic experience, and getting 7 other people in a Discord call for this one seems like it would be really fun. Hoopathlon to me is kind of whatever. The main thing I don't really like about it is that you have no real way to interact with your opponents in meaningful ways, and to me, Mario Party is about screwing over people. It really just kind of feels like a solo mode at times. You could do incredibly well in a minigame, but still get less points because an opponent got a multiplier item while you got the blooper that affects one person at random. The Bowser minigames are cool, just from a technical standpoint. Seeing 20 players online in a Nintendo video game is pretty crazy. Yeah, the bar's on the floor for online, huh? I think this mode probably has the most replayability just because of that competitive aspect. There's only so many times you can fight the same Bowser raid boss without getting bored, but this mode probably gives a lot of people that competitive itch to like want to grind and get better and become the best. Toad's Item Factory and Paratroopa Flight School are throwaway modes. These feel tacked on just to say, hey, look at all these modes we have. They lack depth and just aren't even that inherently interesting to begin with. Maybe they're better with friends, but I can assure you that in a year, no one will be booting up this game to play either of these modes. Finally, there's Party Planner Trek. I like a good solo campaign in Mario Party, and this one is cute. It lets you free roam the boards and do quests. Usually those quests are just doing mini games or finding something somewhere else on the board and bringing it to someone. Again, this mode is cute, not particularly mind-blowing. I was excited to see boss fights return from Mario Party 9 and 10. I think that's one of the most underrated aspects of those games. But I was disappointed to see that these boss fights are not nearly as interesting as those ones. There is something cool about that dynamic of everyone against a boss, but also you're competing for points. But the boss designs here just feel really uninspired. I think that covers everything in the game. I did make sure to finish my Mario Party Battle Pass though, which only requires you get 50 achievements. Every achievement you get will unlock one tier of the Battle Pass, and these tiers mostly unlock new cosmetics in the shop for your online card, but you can also get party points to buy those items, and reaching tiers 10, 20, and 30 are how you unlock Mario's Rainbow Castle, Western Land, and King Bowser's Keep. Tiers 40 and 50 don't do as much if I remember correctly, but for every 10 tiers you complete, you also get a new rank that appears when you're playing online, which is just, it's always fun to flex. I think overall I enjoy this game, but not as much as I was hoping to. A lot of my issues could probably be fixed with patches to do stuff like speeding up the ally animations, or downloadable content like more minigame packs, but I will be real, ND Cube just hates DLC for some reason. We were all hoping for DLC for Super and Superstars to add more boards, and that never happened. So as much as I can hope that they will add more minigames to make every mode a little less repetitive, I fully realize that that probably won't happen. In terms of my ranking, I want to put it right next to Mario Party 7 for a very specific reason. I think both of these games would be great with just a few small changes. I think Mario Party 7 has some good boards and some good minigames, but ultimately Bowser Time, the dual overhaul, 2v2 mode being ruined, and character-specific items making certain characters way better than others just really hold me back from enjoying it as much as the other games. Similarly here, the boards are good, but the lack of minigames, the ally system being a slog at times, and the lack of options we really should have make me like this game less than I would have hoped. The side modes can be fun distractions, but ultimately, I don't think any of them will hold my attention enough to boot up this game specifically for them. Most people boot up Mario Party to play the party mode, so seeing that mode suffer for the sake of these side modes is really tough. What do you think about Super Mario Party Jamboree? Am I too harsh on this game? Perhaps a little too cynical? I haven't been the biggest fan of Switch Mario Parties overall, but I really was optimistic that this would be the one to win me over. Regardless, I hope you enjoyed the video, and hey, don't forget about my charity stuff. Speaking of which, I want to give a special thanks to It's Blur for donating $255, and PHL Collective. These are the developers of the Patrick Star game who saw my video and decided to donate $200 to the campaign, which I think is super cool of them, as well as Money Mondo for donating $115 and Naughty VOD for donating $100. Some incredibly generous donations, and I really appreciate them. I also want to thank Astrowell, Jason, Janice, Debbie, Granitai, Shingbarian, Joshua Zucker, Purple Dot, Dummy Thought, Crisscrossed Art, Mr. Gua Garfinkel, Anonymous, Bug, Lugs, White Sedan, Vani, Eep, Dylan P Music, and Hypnovaria for donating over $5. Since my last video, we have raised over $1,000 for the Breast Cancer Research Foundation, and I'm super thankful to everyone supporting the campaign. We still have a little bit left in October, so let's keep pushing it. I also wanted to thank everyone for the support of my Patrick video. I can't believe that video popped off. It felt kind of random for my channel, but I'm happy it worked out because it was a lot of fun to make. I'm so bad at ending videos. Subscribe. Goodbye.